it, the old Mr. Pinstripes, the old white legs. Okay, his saddle's finished now, so we're going to teach him to sit. Right, old big fella. He's been watching, he knows what's going on, he's got himself fully braced, ready for the action. So we're just going to be a little bit cool with him here. The rope's fairly tight, we want him to relax a little bit. Given this position, when a camel starts to spread those legs out a little bit, I'm going to put it here so you can have a little look. Okay, so I'm just going to disbalance him a little bit with the other rope. Disbalance you a bit. Just getting him off balance. That's it. You're having a good sniff of the blanket there, as you can see. Made him nervous before, so that's a pretty good plan. 3 legs, just pull it off a little bit so he gets a little bit off balance. He'll sit. As soon as he sits, the blanket that made him nervous before is sitting here next to his nose, so that should make things a little bit easier. Another way a camel works out how to protest when you're saddling him. Don't panic in this stage. Just want to keep the saddle on his back. Push, 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 push. So with a camel like this, because he's a roller, we just seen him trying to roll. I've got to watch out with my hands getting stuck under him. And I've got to expect that he could roll on top of me. So have a plan. Okay, big roller. Careful now. Now he's sat back down on his girth, so I haven't got the back girth. He's actually put it on his brisket, so he flew up and flew back down again. So next time he gets up, we'll have an opportunity. So I've moved it to that one, that's my main one. Okay, there's no way you're going to get anything out from under that brisket, including yourself. If you get stuck under that brisket, you'll be the same. Leg rope off now. I want to just do a little walk around lap just to let him feel the saddle on his back, and then that's it. We've got 5 camels in saddle now. It's a beauty. It's a matter of just getting them to sit down a couple of times. It'll make it easiest for us on the road, but the way we are now, we're within the week of leaving on this expedition. So it's been 2 weeks in the yard with the camels, been about a week doing the training, another week fine tuning, getting out of gear together. We're out of here. All right fella, come and fill your saddle. Walk up a little bit. Nice and easy. There you can see there. Stand. Stand. Pretty cool with the saddle. Most camels are. Okay, that's why the leg rope one's good. Gets the fight out of them. Stand. Good boy. He's taken that really well. So we want him to stand there. We're going to tie him up. Let him have a feel of it for a little while. And then we'll get into a bit more work this week. Well, that's it. We've got all the camels in saddle. These guys in their early string. Little Miss Black in a suit. And over here, the newies. These guys we're hooking onto the trailer. We're going to slowly teach them to get into a string down there. He's a very strong camel, this guy. Come fella. He's just pulling a little bit of weight there, so there you go. You want a little bit more, big fella? Sweet. Like I said, we don't want to just jam him in. You're alright, big fella. Hey, you know you're getting your medicines, don't you? That rope's nice and tight there. Let him relax for a second. Come on, boss. A little bit more there for you. It's okay. Just going to do another wrap. He knows he's getting his medicine. It's alright, boys. Just going to do another wrap because this guy's so strong. Right, he's a really strong camel. Now he was the boss of the herd when I first met him. See those big teeth there? Well, we want to be nice and relaxed with him over here. You don't want to be grabbed by them. That's it. Nice and clean there. Be careful with a full-grown bull. You don't want them to swing and grab you. Okay. Just testing him here. You can see the snarliness coming up over there. Very, very quick. If they do grab you, you're in big trouble. Sometimes in the early days when they mucked up with the old bulls, they're well known for grabbing and then reefing the neck. Now, if a camel grabs you and reefs his neck, especially a full-grown bull, you're likely to have your arm mangled or lose it. It's happened in the past, and it probably will happen again. Okay? So we want to be nice and cool with him. Alright, big fella. So what we're going to do, we're just going to start off with two, one behind the other one on the road. Big truck comes by, the last thing you want is 4 bull camels going into panic on you with only neck ropes. Okay, they might end up at Uluru. So we're just going to go 2 by 2. The other guys will just tail along behind the trailer. And then as the journey goes, we want to read their response with traffic. Even though, as we're going to do now, is hook them up the string, go for a walk. When we're on the road, big truck comes past. We don't want to get them in a panic or any situation. So we're just going to start with the 2. Then we're going to add another one. Then we're going to add another one. Very soon these guys will be cruising along the tracks in a string. Now we need to know their reaction because these guys live here. They know this. This is the place where they came in for water. Once we get away from home, it could be a different story. So we're just going to cruise into it slowly. Even though I think they'll do it, we can put them in a team and go. There's no point in taking risks. We've got about 2,000 kilometres to walk. It's going to take us at least 3 months. Heading inland, all the way up. We'll pop out on the coast north of Port Edlin, and then we'll follow the coastline to Broome. So we just want to take it nice and easy. That way we get the best results. What we're doing, we're just preparing the string. Now in time, we'll be able to do all this standing up. And we're putting a new string together. I like to just keep one on the ground while I'm doing it. We'll get him going here. I'll bring Mr. Red in next, we'll sit him down. Now what I do here is I sit the camels down. I bring one in, tie him to it. I'll get that camel up, move it around through the next one. Once I've got the 3 together, I'll go around and put them on the back of Bungie. It's only necessary in the start until they get used to it, and after walking a little way, you're right, big fella. He's a beautiful camel, this guy. Once they get going for a while, you're able to string them all standing up. But I find this the safest method. Sometimes it's good to double strap him, but he's such a cool camel, he probably only just needs the one. Alright mate, I'll go and get your mate Mr. Red. Push, big fella. The reason why I'm doing it here on the trailer is this is what these guys are going to get used to. Walk up there, Mr. Red. Now, what I'm doing here is this bottom part of the trailer, just to pull their heads down a little bit to make sure we get control. I'm going to hook the knot up the top here, so it's nice and easy access. Okay, a couple of wraps there, just to get full control of them. Let them stand there and relax at the start. That's it, mate. Okay, we got you there. Fella. Just going to pull him down a little bit, slip it up. I like to have the head about my height. Push, 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 push. There we go. Now, Mr. Red, superstar. Absolutely fantastic, doing his job. When I first saw these camels and they were walking out in the wild, there was a particular order. Okay, Mr. Grey was out in front, Mr. Red second, and the big fella, he was up behind, the boss. And that's the way I'm going to work this string. This is the advantage of getting camels out of the wild as a team. They already know how to walk in the wild, they're already mates. It's going to make it nice and relaxing for us when we're out bush, keeping them together, rather than bringing a whole team of strangers in together. Okay, you bring a whole team of strangers in, they've got to get to know each other, they've got to sort pecking orders out, it can give you a nightmare out bush. So the reason why we're able to get camels out of the wild, have them in training for a couple of weeks, and then go on a big adventure for a few months with them, which is a great way to train your camels in the start, is to get a team that already live out bush together. And putting them together like this, I'm going to go get the old bloke now. We're going to tie him in here. I'll get him up, put him onto him, walk him round onto Munji. First thing I want to do, push, check my girths. Make sure your saddle's all done up nice and tightly. Push there, big fella. I'm going to do the same on this bloke, because putting a new team together, anything can happen. So you want to get this done pretty quick. Rightio, push there, mate. Pull up, big fella. Now I've got these nice big belt clips here. I want to clip onto the back of the saddle. But I've got string. If he goes off, he'll break it instead of ripping that saddle off. Pull his head down into a little bit there. Down there, buddy. Okay. When they're quiet, under the girths, under the neck strap. I don't want to break them. Well, I've got a new team going at the moment. Just going to gather it there. We want to come around the neck of this camel. Get him around like that. Let him push, 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 push. Don't panic, nice and relaxed. Trust the straps, keep them down. Mr. Red's probably a bit nervous. When I first met him, this big bloke bit him on the bum. Got him moving out bush. So when we do our bow line here, we want to be back on the shoulder. We don't want to be too close around the neck, give him plenty of room. We don't want to choke him. We're going to do a simple bow line. Bow lines are easy to undo if they go a bit silly. The rest of the rope, just going to wrap around here. Okay? Nice and easy done. I like to have this little touch on the nose. Up. There you go. Now probably there, he probably got up a little bit quick for what I'm doing, but I understand he's got the boss bull behind him. Can't get out there, can't run. So we'll let him get away with that today, just in the start. But certainly on the trip, he won't be getting up until I tell him everything's all right. But like I said, because he's got the boss on behind him, he's a little bit nervous. Right, so we're going to move on to Mr. Grey now. Okay, get him all done up. Once again, I've got nice long ropes. Why have I got nice long ropes? The camel bolts. I've got about 8 or 9 metres to make up a plan. Back up, big fella. Come on, back up. Now, as I said, in the wild, this is how they walk, how they move in their spot. So it's quite easy to work with. Basically, we're not doing too much difference to what they normally would do in the wild, except of course they're stuck together with saddles on their back. But this is why this works and makes it nice and easy. If I was to change the order, okay, things might be very different. But that's the advantage of having wild camels. You can see how they work together in the wild. You're right there, Mr. Grey. Seeing how they work together in the wild makes it easier for us to understand their behaviours and work it into a string of good camels. Yeah, big fella. Now, a little bit of room there for them to think about. You don't want too much room, because if they bolt, they'll clean go over the top of you, end up in a big knot. Okay, there you go. Just going to put that up there like that. Okay, just to stop the string. We don't want any excuses. Camels are learning stuff, they'll use any excuse to go off, like a string down there tickling him on the leg. Could be a very spooky fly. Stand there, big fella. Up, up, come on fella, up. There you go. And there we got a string together. Stand there, boys. Stand. We want them to just feel this for a second. You're going to give him a big fly rub, see? They're mates. Using his best mate as a tissue. On your big fella. Don't be so nervous. Gonna walk around. A little touch on the shoulder there. Nice and relaxed. You there, Mr. Red? I'm not talking to Mr. Red. Now we're going to go onto the back of Mungie. Once we get the team together, we're off for a walk. Come, Mungie, walk up. Mungie, walk up. Now you can see the word walks well. Mungie's walked up in position. Stand, buddy. Stand. Stand there, big fella. Stand. Stand, boys. Straight. The red. Camel, stand. Stand. That's it. Gonna hook him onto old Mungie here. Want to make sure Mungie's girth's all done up. You don't want loose saddles. The last thing we want is a saddle underneath the camel when we're walking. That's in, big fella. This one round the neck. Now Mungie's taken to it really well. He doesn't. I've had him, Mr. Red behind him. He didn't like him. Okay, because Mr. Red walks up a little bit. But Mr. Grey, he's had no problem with. So that's very handy. But he doesn't mind Mr. Grey. A little bit of room. Because that's exactly the team we need and how we need to do it. Once again, just back along the shoulder here, into the blanket. There we go. Nice bow line. Now the access rope. Stand, Munge. Stand, 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 stand. Very, very firm with your commands. Okay, we're just going to flick them up over there. Pull that one up a little bit. Another shot. Another shot over there. And then we'll come back through here. Now that's a basic team. I'm going to put the rope under the stirrup. I don't want to pull it tight and have the stirrup jam inside him. And that's you mob done. But today we're going to go over, we want to test them on the trees. Walk them past the trees, let them have a feed as they walk. Now I find this very important with pack strings. When you're walking along, that the camel can walk and eat. Now if you can zigzag your way through country, by the time you pull up at camp at night, they could be 3/4 full of food, which can help and allow them to rest a better night. All right boys, you ready? Let's go. Walk up, walk up. Now you can see they're walking out on a little bit of an angle there. A little bit excited to see what's going on. But as I said, getting these camels out of the wild, walking in the same sort of order as they walk in the wild, being brothers, well, I don't know about being brothers, but they're a gang. It makes our life easier. This is a trick here. Walk up, keep them walking, feeding, walk up, Munge. Walk up, boys, walk up, walk up. Walk it up. Now you can see the neck ropes are dragging there. Walk up. That's good. They're all having a pick. See how they're dragging on the neck ropes? This is the importance of the nose line. Okay. Now that's pretty good reaction. No stirring up. This is exactly what we want when we're on the trek. That these animals all get used to walking along having a feed. Okay. This will keep them stimulated, keep them happy, and certainly keep good condition on the animals. You want to trust them a bit too. They're very calm. Of course these boys, the two behind Bungie here, are pretty relaxed because they got their boss with them. And our big fella over here is really stepping up, Mr. Mungie. Okay? But the team's looking good. Was telling us a story that old Gul Muhammad, one of the old Afghan camel blokes, was always saying the females make the best leaders and the best riding camels. Now there's a simple reason for this, okay? Out in the wild, the bulls follow the females, right? Females are out in front. They're walking along, choosing the path, and the old bull's plonking along. You know, all those nice girlfriends in front of him. So we're taking that on board, what he said, and it's very interesting. But I don't want to just tie him onto her at the moment, because if the boys go silly, they're going to absolutely ragdoll her out of the way. Walk up, you mob. So these guys are doing pretty well. So pretty relaxed with them at the moment. So that's why I'm just taking Miss Black for a little walk with me, just to get her used to the whole thing going on. It's a pretty cool way to do it. And it's pretty amazing, and it's something that'll just show you guys how special camels are, how smart they are, and how awesome they are to get working. Okay? A little bit of trust with the animal, knowing they got the mind to do it, the mind to think about it. And also important, they have time to think about it. Come on, would you? Walk up. You can see the old bull just plodding along behind, bloop bloop. Female out in front. It's all how it happens in the wild, except you generally don't get one female and 4 bulls. You might get 40 females and 1 bull, or you might get a big gang of bulls by himself. So Mr. Black's going to feel pretty protected over here. Okay, done well, girl. Walk up, boys. That's what we're doing here at the moment, it's making up the hobble ropes. When I say hobble ropes, it's more of a tether. Okay, like I was explaining before, going like that. So basically, when you travel into the bush with camels, these are very important. In the old days, they used to hobble both legs. Okay, in some stages they'd even wrap on the back legs, as they use in some other countries. Now the thing with a camel, he can shuffle all night like this. If he gets spooked, he can run like this. Okay, he can go a long distance. Many years ago I was travelling with a camel. I decided to put one on double hobble to let him have a feed out. Okay, it was about a 2-3 hour walk the next morning to track him and find him. He was heading home. So what we do now, these are hobble chains. Now, the rope is basically 10 metres long. 10 metres is a pretty good size. It allows the animal to feed out around the tree at night. You've got to watch out they don't wrap around the tree. So during the trip we'll show you this, but I always put a rope up between the trees so they can't get around and tangle themselves up too much. So, 10 metre rope. Simple bow line onto the hobble chain. Now the hobble chain, the reason we use the hobble chain is so the rope doesn't twist and twist. It's got a swivel on it. Okay. Now from there onto the strap. Pretty simple setup. And this is how your animals get to feed at night. Now the reason this is so you wake up and your animals are there in the morning. The camels, probably a bit more like a dingo. They're good loyal animals, but they don't need you. So they can go. They can nick off at any time, especially bull camels coming into rutting season, which is coming up very soon. Starts in the month of April, roughly, depending on the weather. The colder it gets, more in rut they get. Camel gets off, and he's in rut, he's off, looking for a girlfriend or a fight. Now that's your basic hobble. Now we're going to go and show these guys how to do it. We put it onto the front ankle like that, okay, and that's it. And he can eat around the tree at night. Now I've used this method for years, travelled long distance with camels. It's the most sturdiest method you can use. Sometimes, you know, if your feed's a bit scarce, you might get up in the night, shift them around the trees, but certainly that'll ensure your camel's there in the morning. Simple leg tether. That's it. Swivel. The hobble strap, those are good ones. Okay, leather can snap. When I first start the camels out, I use these simple little basic ones you get in most horse shops these days. The camel panics. You can see it's only got a couple of rivets there. It'll snap off. So I generally used to use them in the start to teach them with. But what we're going to do, we'll put these ones onto Big Tamler and Red today. We're going to do them in the yards. Okay, that way overnight, if anything happens, they're still going to be in the yards and not out. These are alright for little Miss Black. Certainly Big Munji's already broken one of these. In about 2 seconds. Okay, so, and that's the strap. It's got a little nice, little bit of fluff in there, you know, to make it all smooth on the leg. And that strap is very strong. Camel shouldn't break that. So Munji over here is used to his hobble, so I'll just give you a little demonstration of the end product of tethering out your camel. Okay, Munji, up, Munji, up, Munji, up. Stand there, big boss. Okay, so when we start out teaching the camels this, you don't want to come straight in and whack it on their legs standing up, so we do the method sitting down. Okay, but when they're quiet, it doesn't take them long to get used to all this. Okay, you want to come in on the shoulder, stand there, big fella. Always talking the animal, stand there, stand there. And we're going to wrap that one around the ankle here like this. A little ring. Stand, big fella. Onto there. Get you done there, buddy. Into the locker. Okay, now that's a basic hobble. Now when we're telling them out, we want to tie this end up to the tree. Okay, now in general, you don't just want to leave it like that and let them go. Walk them out to the end of the thing so they at least feel it on their leg. Once they've felt it, they understand it. That's basically tethering a camel out.